Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Dinar Update. If you hold Iraqi Dinar, follow currency reform developments, or simply want to understand what is actually changing behind the scenes, stay with me until the end of this report, because today we're discussing something real. Not rumor, not speculation, and not emotional hype. We're talking about a structural banking shift that has been years in the making. After long periods of incomplete systems, limited banking capability, and fragmented processing, Iraqi Dinar banking infrastructure is now entering live operational status, and that changes the environment in a meaningful way. In this update, I'll explain what systems going live truly means, why it matters, what it changes for banks and holders, and just as importantly, what it does not mean. We'll walk through verification, official processing, the central bank's role, international coordination, scam risks, and finally, a clear action checklist so you know how to stay protected and prepared. Let's begin with the foundation, because without clarity here, everything else becomes noise. When banks say their Iraqi Dinar systems are now live, they are not talking about flipping a switch. They are referring to full operational banking infrastructure becoming active. This includes upgraded banking software, secure verification tools, authenticated note processing systems, staff training, and direct connectivity to national and international financial networks. For years, dinar handling outside Iraq relied heavily on informal exchange channels. That meant inconsistent pricing, lack of documentation, and exposure to unnecessary risk. Live banking systems change that. Banks can now formally accept notes, authenticate them through centralized databases, record transactions properly, and issue official documentation. That moves the dinar from informal circulation into regulated financial handling, and that is a major operational shift. However, and this is critical, operational readiness does not equal a change in currency value. Banking systems provide the road. They do not decide the destination. Exchange rate decisions remain entirely with the Central Bank of Iraq and national monetary policy authorities. Infrastructure supports future options. It does not declare outcomes. One of the most important aspects of live systems is verification. This is no longer just visual inspection. Modern verification layers include serial number tracking, security feature scanning, issuance batch confirmation, and database cross-referencing. This protects legitimate holders by creating consistent, explainable outcomes if a note passes or fails verification. It also reduces counterfeit risk dramatically, which is exactly what international compliance standards require. This verification layer is the heartbeat of a functioning financial system. Without it, infrastructure is cosmetic. With it, the currency becomes auditable, traceable, and manageable inside regulated banking environments. Now, the question everyone asks, does this mean the Iraqi dinar is being revalued? The honest answer is no, not automatically. Banking systems going live do not change exchange rates. They simply make it possible to process exchanges safely if and when monetary policy decisions are made in the future. Revaluation or exchange regime changes require macroeconomic planning, inflation control, reserve management, fiscal stability, and international market coordination. What live systems do accomplish is removing a major historical barrier, implementation capability. In the past, even if policy changed, execution would have been chaotic. Now, orderly execution becomes possible. That is why this moment matters, as foundation, not finish line. You may also hear discussion about contract rates in connection with these systems. Contract rates are structured exchange rates used between institutions or in regulated settlement transactions. When integrated into live banking systems, exchanges can be processed at documented rates with receipts and audit trails. This replaces opaque broker quotes with transparent banking procedures. But again, contract rates are operational tools, not public revaluation announcements. Security also improves on two levels. First, technical security, encrypted databases, controlled staff access, protected verification tools. Second, transactional integrity, audit trails, official receipts, compliance approvals, and dispute resolution processes. For holders, the takeaway is simple. Once systems are live, the safest and only legitimate path is through recognized banking channels. Avoid private brokers. Avoid informal special access offers. Never hand over currency without documented banking procedures. Traceability protects you. Informal deals expose you. Another important result of live systems is improved coordination between Iraqi banks and international correspondent banks. This allows verification data, settlement instructions, and compliance checks to flow more efficiently across borders. For holders outside Iraq, this increases the chance of smoother interactions with recognized financial institutions rather than unregulated intermediaries. Now, let's talk timing. Systems going live does not mean instant completion. There will be phased rollout, staff training, early transaction testing, strict documentation checks. Initial processing may feel slow. That is normal. Patience in this phase is not passive waiting, it is smart positioning. Emotionally, this moment matters. Many holders have waited a long time to see tangible institutional progress, but pressure to act fast is exactly when scammers appear. Guaranteed rates, secret exchange lists, private redemption appointments, paid priority access. These are classic warning signs. Real banking procedures never require secrecy. Now, practical steps for holders. First, secure and organize your notes. Second, avoid informal exchanges completely. Third, prepare valid ID documentation. Fourth, monitor official bank communications and central bank releases. Fifth, keep expectations realistic. Infrastructure enables opportunity. It does not promise outcomes. Watch for real indicators in coming weeks. Published bank procedures, designated processing locations, documentation requirements, official central bank statements, correspondent bank guidance. These are the signals that matter, not online whispers, not anonymous intel, not forwarded voice notes. And remember, holding physical currency is one form of exposure to Iraq's future financial future. It carries opportunity, but also risk. Consulting professional financial or tax advisors before large transactions is always wise, especially for cross-border transactions. So here's the clear conclusion. Banking systems going live is a real progress. It improves safety, it improves structure, it improves readiness, but it does not guarantee revaluation, it does not set rates, and it does not justify reckless decisions. Stay informed, stay documented, stay inside official channels. If this update helped you understand what is actually happening, not hype, not rumor, but real structural change, then subscribe for continued coverage. Turn on notifications so you don't miss verified developments as they unfold. This is Dinar Update, where we focus on clarity, not speculation. Stay informed, stay patient, and stay protected. To close this update, let's bring everything into focus. The activation of Iraq's banking infrastructure for dinar handling is an operational milestone. It introduces verified processing, traceable transactions, and regulated exchange procedures. That lowers uncertainty, increases transparency, and places the currency inside formal financial channels where real accountability exists. However, and this is critical, system readiness is not the same thing as a value change. It is preparation, not a promise. Infrastructure creates capability. Policy determines outcome. The central bank remains the authority but decides exchange structure, timing, and rate direction. Banks simply execute what policy authorizes. For dinar holders, the correct mindset right now is cautious readiness, not panic, not blind excitement, not rumor chasing, just structured preparation. Secure your notes properly, document what you hold, follow official banking announcements, avoid informal middlemen, do not pay fees to unlock exchanges, do not share personal data with unverified contacts. Live banking systems actually make legitimate exchange safer, but they also expose scammers faster. Any offer that tries to bypass bank verification is immediately suspect. If someone claims special access, secret appointments, or guaranteed rates, walk away. For international holders, expect gradual rollout. Some banks will onboard faster than others. Early transactions may move slowly. Compliance checks will feel strict. That is normal for any new regulated system. Patience here is not passive waiting, it is risk protection. From a broader financial perspective, formal banking integration improves Iraq's credibility in global markets. It strengthens correspondent banking relationships and reduces transaction friction. Over time, that supports economic stability. But again, currency value follows economic policy, not speculation. So, what should you watch going forward? Official central bank statements, commercial bank procedure announcements, designated exchange branch information, verification and documentation requirements, timelines published through banking channels. These are real signals, not social media rumors, not anonymous intel, not forwarded voice notes. If you plan to exchange in the future, approach it step by step. Prepare identification documents, choose reputable regulated banks, ask for written procedures, expect verification stages, keep transaction records.